What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, the Blu-ray Bandit. I bought a bunch of titles at a local comic book shop for less than $1. Let's see what I found. All right, I hit a comic book shop. There's 25 titles in here. Let's see what I got. This was the Bearded Browncoat Comics and Games. This is in Ocala, Florida, which is maybe an hour away from Orlando. My son told me about this place. He told me that they had Blu-rays there. So we checked it out together, and they did definitely have Blu-rays. They didn't have a ton of them, but I would say maybe, I don't know, 250 or so. And the pricing was odd on them because a good 2/3 of them actually had individual prices on them, and the rest had no prices. And the ones that had individual prices, they were priced out of range for what I would typically pay for a Blu-ray. So a bunch of the Blu-rays you're going to see in this video have actual price tags on them, but I did not pay what it says on those price tags. I paid $1 per Blu-ray. There's a particular Blu-ray that I was going to buy regardless of the price, but there was no price on it. And so I approached the counter. I asked him, how much are the Blu-rays that don't have prices? And he said, actually, we're having a sale today. They're only $1 each, no matter what the title is. And so, of course, I walked back to the shelf and I bought 25 of them. There's actually only 20 cases, but a couple of them are collections. But if you break it out by title, I paid $21.40 total with 25 titles within those 20 purchases. That brings them out to 80 cents each a title. First up, Punisher Warzone. This is the second Punisher theatrically released movie. The first one's all right. I enjoy the second one more just because it's just completely balls to the wall action and color and just absolute insanity. Although I do prefer Thomas Jane as the Punisher over this guy. I forget what this guy's name is. Based on the tiny text, it looks like Ray Stevenson. It's not worth a whole lot of money. It's scanned at roughly $3. I bought it to add to my growing comic book film collection. It's definitely a lesser known of the comic book films. I mean, people know it exists. They just don't care about it at all, which is fine. I care about it, and I'm happy to add it to the shelf. Bourne Legacy. There you go. You can see they were asking $6.99 for this Blu-ray that barely fetches 2 or 3 on eBay. I bought it because I'm a completionist, and if I'm going to own most of the Bourne movies, I might as well own all of them. This one was missing the DVD, which I don't really care about because I'm not going to resell it. I'm going to keep it on my shelf. I doubt I will ever watch it. I saw the movie once in a movie theater. That was probably enough for me, but who knows? If I go on a Bourne binge, I might have to watch it. Thanks to that darn completionist streak in me. Pacific Rim with slipcover. This is a Guillermo del Toro movie. I'm sure you have seen it. Giant mechs. A huge special effects movie. I enjoy the kaiju action in Pacific Rim. It's almost better than other recent giant monster movies like the King Kong movies or Godzilla movies. I expect I'll find this one on 4K at some point, but for now, I didn't have it, so I'm going to add it to the shelf. As far as what it's worth, it's hard to know. After an eBay scan, you'll see plenty of Pacific Rim titles being sold for $2 to $3, but none of them have this yellow slipcase. Some of them have slipcases. They get a couple dollars more for them, but I wasn't able to find a single one that had this yellow slipcover. I don't know if that means anything. I have no clue. I might just throw it on there for like $20 with slipcover just to see if it is an actual rare slipcover that somebody's interested in. If nobody buys it, I'm fine just keeping it in my collection. But if I can get $20 for it, I don't really care about having a exclusive yellow slipcover, if that's what this is. Sometimes when I find something that doesn't even have a comparable sale within the last 90 days on eBay, I'll just throw it up there for what I would guess is a ridiculous price and see if it goes. And if it doesn't, I probably wanted to keep it anyway. I'm going to run that test on this copy of Pacific Rim. Deliverance, a classic from the early 70s, a pretty strange movie, but one that every film fan needs to have seen. Stars Jon Voight and Burt Reynolds, amongst others. There are so many moments from this movie that have stood the test of time, for better or for worse. It's a pretty crazy movie for sure, even for the time. Comes with just the Blu-ray. This one's scanned at roughly $5. It's a classic, and I'm happy to add it to the collection. Oz the Great and Powerful, a movie at one point they were asking $10 for. On eBay today, it scans at roughly $5. For the time being, I will be keeping this copy. Once again, no DVD, but the Blu-ray is here. I don't have any particular love for Oz the Great and Powerful, but it is directed by Sam Raimi, who's a director that I'm kind of low-key collecting all of his titles. I'm not necessarily hunting each one down on eBay, but as I come across them, I grab them. And if I get close, I might cherry pick a few select titles at a premium. But for right now, this is just another ad to the Sam Raimi collection. The Huntsman, Winter's War. I should say that my cell phone wasn't working very well in this comic shop, so I was not able to scan any of these. I had to just kind of guess what they were worth. At $1, it wasn't exactly a huge roll of the dice on any one particular title. I didn't necessarily think this was worth much. It scanned at roughly $4, not too bad. I've never actually seen this movie, so it's a blind buy for me. I think there was a Snow White movie before this that was released. You got the Blu-ray and the DVD. I don't remember if there was even positive buzz when this came out, but it is a Chris Hemsworth movie. It has Charlize Theron and Emily Blunt and Jessica Chastain. These are all actors that I enjoy. I'm looking forward to checking it out, seeing if it's worth keeping in the collection, and if not, I'll flip it on eBay. Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. This is the third Mad Max movie. It has been quite a while since I've seen this. One of my podcast co-hosts recently rewatched it and said that the second time he watched it, it was as if he had never seen it before. So I don't know what that really says about the movie, if it's just a movie that's easily forgettable over time, or if the visuals were so interesting that they felt fresh and new. I'm not quite sure. Whoop. With digital code. Yeah, I'm not quite sure exactly what he meant by that, but I'm looking forward to revisiting Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. At this point, I have Fury Road, Beyond Thunderdome, and Road Warrior. I'm just missing the first movie, the original Mad Max. The Da Vinci Code. This is the last in the Da Vinci series that I need. Ron Howard's Powerhouse Intrigue Trilogy. Subscribers to this channel know already that I'm collecting all the films of Ron Howard. For what reason, I'm not quite sure, but somehow, some way, I've gotten in that mode. This is definitely one of them. Stars Tom Hanks. I loved the book when it came out, like most people. The movie was so-so, and I never saw either of its sequels. So looking forward to checking this out. And now that I have all three, I can watch the entire trilogy back to back to back. Joy. Rogue One, a Star Wars story. This is a movie I've found out in the wild and resold before. This is maybe the third or fourth copy of it. Again, I picked it up blind, could not scan it. I didn't know at the time that the price has almost completely dropped out on this title. I'm guessing because of Disney Plus, since Disney Plus put all of the Star Wars movies on their service. And since they own those movies, they will never not be on the service, in theory. So a title that used to catch $5 to $8 now scans at roughly $2. Not 100% sure what I'm going to do with this. I would not sell it on eBay for $2. It's not worth the pain of listing, the cost of the envelope, etc. Oh, with digital code. You got two Blu-rays in here, one with the film, one with the bonus material. I'm guessing somebody replaced the case at some point because I think this is supposed to have a DVD in it. Yeah, Blu-ray, DVD, digital. Interesting. They left the digital and they kept the DVD. You never know with people. I might give this one away to a friend, or at some point I'll lot it up with a bunch of other Blu-rays that aren't worth much. Either way, it was only 80 cents. Kill the Messenger, starring Jeremy Renner with slipcover. This is a movie I saw in movie theaters and enjoyed quite a bit. It's a political drama / thriller, and I think it's an overlooked movie. If you haven't seen Kill the Messenger, you should definitely check it out, especially if you like political thrillers. like The Manchurian Candidate or The Parallax View, those types of movies, this one slots in very well with. I was excited to see this at a pawn shop. It's not a movie I'd ever expect. Oh, there's only the DVD. There's no Blu-ray. Well, I was about to say I was excited to find this one because I don't see them typically out in the wild, and I guess I still don't technically own this because it's only the DVD. I don't care at all about DVDs, and at this point, it's just a replacement case with a pretty slipcover. Black Hat. Another Chris Hemsworth movie, this with slipcover as well. Let's see if both the Blu-ray and DVD are in this one. They are. Thank goodness. I obviously should have checked these a little better. This is a Michael Mann movie, another director that I am loosely collecting their entire filmography on. I enjoy most Michael Mann movies. Even the not great ones are at minimum interesting. This scanned at roughly $3, so not exactly high or anything, but with a good-looking slipcover for less than $1, I couldn't resist. A Most Wanted Man starring Philip Seymour Hoffman and Rachel McAdams, amongst others. This is a spy thriller, love Philip Seymour Hoffman movies with slipcover in perfect condition. Oh, and with digital code. There's the Blu-ray. I really miss Philip Seymour Hoffman in movies. He was just such a great actor. Capote, The Master, Boogie Nights, Along Came Polly. Just so many classics in his filmography. I wouldn't say this is top tier Philip Seymour Hoffman, but it is a really good drama. It scanned at roughly $4, so not exactly a big score, but a movie I don't see out in the wild very much, so I'm excited to add it to the collection. There's Something About Mary. This is a movie that's actually out of print, but it doesn't scan particularly high. It scans at roughly $6. I'm guessing that even though this copy was released in 2009, there have been subsequent versions of There's Something About Mary released. So even though the original version is completely out of print, there's enough access to the film itself that the price has not held. This one scans at roughly $6. It has a little dent right there. Doesn't look like it's actually in the insert, just on the outer case. You got just the Blu-ray in your environmentally friendly flimsy case. I plan on reselling it. I already have a copy of There's Something About Mary in a 2-pack with another movie. So it'll be an easy flip and pay for some of these other titles that I'm going to keep. The Devil's Own, starring Harrison Ford and Brad Pitt. This is another movie that is long out of print. This copy was released in 2008. It's another movie that doesn't scan particularly high, but it does have value. It scanned at roughly $9. I've seen this movie. I don't remember much about it. Comes with just the Blu-ray. I'm interested in giving it a rewatch, and at that point, I'll decide whether I'm keeping it or flipping it. When Marnie Was There. This is a movie I had not heard of, but I have heard of Studio Ghibli, and whenever I see those on the shelf, I always pick them up because they seem to have a better resale value than other titles. I enjoy Studio Ghibli, but I definitely am not like a hardcore fan. At some point, I'd like to be able to say I've seen them all, but I don't care enough to have actually hunted them all down and watched them yet. If you've seen this one, let me know if it's worth a watch or not. It's scanned at $12. Unless it's something amazing when I finally get to it, it's probably going on eBay just because it's going to go so far to help pay for titles that I definitely want to keep. Or should I just keep this one? Let me know in the comments. Bad Boys Collection. This is all three, the entire trilogy of the Bad Boys series. This is the title that I was going to buy regardless of price. I noticed that their other titles, the most expensive one was roughly $9.99. If they were charging that for this, I probably would have bought it anyway. But I did not pay $9.99 for this. I paid 80 cents. Not bad. I enjoy the Bad Boys movies, especially the first. The second one's okay. And the third, I mean, it's a good time, but not anything amazing for sure. There you go. You got the original Bad Boys for life. And then this is one of those cases where the disc on this side is just kind of stacked on another title. Not sure if that's a better method than kind of the middle disc flap, but it seems to hold it in pretty secure. This one scanned at $15. I will be keeping it and selling my individual copies of Bad Boys 1 and Bad Boys 2 and adding this space saver to the shelf. Wonder Woman with slipcover. This is a movie that everybody knows about. It's brand new and sealed and scanned for $9. I already have Wonder Woman on 4K, so I will be reselling this copy to help pay for titles that I'd rather keep. Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. So this one, I'm not sure what it's worth because I wasn't able to actually find it on eBay. I couldn't find a listing for it at all based on the UPC. I think it's one of the fairly early Blu-rays because it's actually released by New Line Entertainment. You don't see too many of those with their label on it as the release company. So I'm pretty sure this is long out of print, but the movie itself, Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle, is not hard to find, both online and in physical media. But this particular copy does not seem to have a match on eBay, so I don't know what it's worth. I'm going to give it a big old goose egg for the purposes of this video because I don't know what it's worth at all. And you can find copies of Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle, other copies, for $1 or $2. So to assume that this one is worth a lot, I'm not going to go that far. But it was amongst the 20 I purchased. I did not own a copy of this movie. I've seen it once. I don't really remember much about it. Some night when I need a pick-me-up, I'm going to pop it in and re-experience the magic. This is an Own the Moments Jean-Claude Van Damme triple pack. This scanned at $18. I will be reselling it to help pay for titles that I'd rather keep. I enjoy Jean-Claude Van Damme. I even enjoy one or two of these movies. I know I definitely enjoy Double Impact. I don't think I've seen Cyborg or Death Warrant. Maybe I've seen Death Warrant. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm going to resell this. I don't necessarily need it to sit on my shelf. I'm sure there are a lot of Van Damme fans watching this right now who are screaming at their cell phones, keep it, keep it, keep it, but I don't care about it. I'd rather have 1 or 2 4K titles that I'm more likely to watch than 3 Van Damme movies that I will most likely never pop in the player. Thus, it's a flip. And finally, another Own the Moments collection. This is the 2 XFiles movies. This one scanned at roughly $40 on eBay, which is absolutely insane. Nearly double the price of this entire haul. I'm not quite sure I fully understand why they put blood splatters in the art here. Like, I'm not a huge X-Files fan, but I don't necessarily remember them being horror movies. This is typically what they do on horror titles. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you're a big X-Files nut, does this make sense to you, the blood splatter? It doesn't matter. What does matter is that this is a fairly valuable Blu-ray, and I just kind of lucked out. I mean, I wish I could tell you guys I knew that this was worth real money when I bought it. But honestly, it's just a title that I don't see in pawn shops. And when I saw it in this comic book shop on the shelf for only $1, I was like, why not? And I grabbed it and just kind of lucked into something that's worth a decent amount of money. So I will not be adding this to the collection. It's going on eBay to help pay for more titles I'd rather keep. All right, 25 titles, total of $21.40 with an average per title price of 80 cents and an estimated value of $151. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for your best shot at a free digital code. God, you play a mean banjo. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Until then, bye.